Hello, 572. This is my presentation and PowerPoint for our culminating activity number 1. I chose to interview a high school athletic director, a junior college athletic director, and a 4-year university athletic director. I found many commonalities, similarities, and differences for all 3 levels. I hope this presentation helps you understand the differences and similarities. First of all, what is an athletic director? What do they do? A lot of people don't know the role, especially in the media, or even parents or teachers don't even know. Some administrators don't even know the ins and outs of an athletic director. They take care of everything for athletics, even help with discipline and other facets of administration. But their main job is to help the student athlete stay eligible, and we know athletics provides another opportunity of learning outside the classroom, so they help facilitate that. Some of the things that they do oversee, they hire coaches, interview panels, preparation of questions and all that stuff, scheduling, budget preparation, promotions. If it's at the junior college, even a 4-year university, there's a lot involved with the media. Not so much at the high school level. There is some media to deal with. I've interviewed these 3 athletic directors, and why did they choose going into athletics, the job responsibilities, and the similarities and differences from all 3 different levels. So the first person I interviewed was Tim Carey. He is the athletic director at Hoover High School. He, the last couple of years, was the interim Fresno Unified athletic director. Fresno Unified is the 4th largest school district in the state of California. So not only is Tim a great athletic director, he's a personal friend. He was actually the first athletic director to hire me as a baseball coach, gave me my opportunity to start coaching. We go way back 18 plus years. He started out as an athletic trainer, and it just kept going to school and moving up through the system, and eventually became athletic director at Hoover High School. The biggest thing that I took away from Tim is the reason why, the impact, what helped him along his journey, or why he does what he does as an athletic director, is that he wants to, he has a great effect on many students. Over the course of the years, he's helped students get to the next level, and not only next level, but just help students in general become better people. Some of the recruiting guidelines in high school: you can't recruit in high school. There's actually rules for that. Even if the coach coaches a summer league and the kid that he coaches goes to another school and decides to transfer to the coach's school, the coach can get in trouble, the school can get in trouble, the player can get in trouble. So, and it's pretty much the same throughout as well. But in high school, you can't recruit. You can only talk to kids in your feeder schools, and typically he says that they like the varsity coaches of all the programs be involved in the junior high process. Maybe their coaches, their lower level coaches at the freshman and JV levels, be involved at the junior high, 7th and 8th grade levels, to help learn the systems and stuff of their programs. He's the one that assesses all their eligibility. He doesn't have anybody helping him. He doesn't have a secretary or a compliance director, as we'll see here later on. Students must maintain a 2.0, must pass CIF, which is Central California Interscholastic Federation mandates this, that they have to have a 2.0 and pass at least 4 classes out of the 6. So they just follow those guidelines. He assesses them quarterly for eligibility. If you play a spring sport, your 3rd and 2nd quarter grades will determine eligibility. If you play football in the fall, your 3rd and 4th quarter, or your last semester grades from the previous year, determines eligibility. So there is a little bit of a process to that, and he has to do that all himself. Once they enroll into the school, in high school, you have 8 consecutive semesters. There's no red shirt, there's no medical, there's no time off, basically, in a sense. So once they enroll, they have 8 consecutive semesters to compete. The central section is for CIF there, where he is an athletic director. They adopted the sit-out period for transfer rules. If the student athlete didn't do a full family move, or there's 9 categories for hardship, they have to apply through the athletic director to be eligible, and then the CIF, the central section, makes the determination on their eligibility. So they have to, sit out typically 30 days, which is usually the preseason. There's no redshirt in high school. California Interscholastic Federation of Sports is the central section there. Their primary role is to eligibility, transfers, set forth all this stuff. They run section championships, and they have to abide by all these rules that all the sections have to follow. All the states and all that stuff have to follow. The primary role to help, what they do, they have many trainings to help support the athletic director, the school administrator. Many trainings. They meet like 6 to 8 times a school year to go over new rules, new implementations, new questions, single site championship, stuff like that. So there's a lot of support for not only new athletic directors, but for athletics in general, athletic directors in general for the whole school year, for new rules. Some stuff that they have to help them at the high school level. They have an NC2A counselor that helps parents and students migrate or matriculate that process by going through the clearinghouse, transcripts, grades, classes, if they do have some college interest. Next person I chose was Eric Mendoza, or who I interviewed. Eric started his career in leadership, activities, and moved into athletics. He did it at the high school level, junior college level, and now he moved around a couple of different colleges. The 2-year, now he's the Dean of Athletics at West Hills Community College. His biggest thing is that he's worked for some great leaders, learning best practices for leadership there through some great support. It's really helped Eric, and he's in it to help students as well. I think that's the common theme that all these athletic directors have, is that they're here for the students and student success, which is awesome. Recruiting guidelines, there's many recruiting guidelines for the CCAA, which is California Community College Athletic Association. For recruiting, there's 15 pages, just some brief descriptions of recruiting. Like in high school, you can't. At the junior college level, you can. However, the high school has to have common boundaries with the junior college. There's other rules that are applicable, meaning that they can contact any player in the state. However, it's got to be via the phone. If you happen to have a personal one-on-one conversation, you can't do that if they don't have boundaries, or their high school doesn't have boundaries with the college or high school. So again, 15 pages dedicated to recruiting. Too many to list and go over, but the difference is they can recruit versus high school. So there you go. Who's in charge of it? He has a secretary and himself, a senior secretary. They go through all the process, unlike where Tim at the high school, he was the only one that did it. Eric's got somebody to help him, with all the paperwork, and there's a lot that goes into that. To be eligible, the kids have to have a 2.0, which is common throughout all levels. They have to complete 12 semester units, 24, 6 in their last semester, so there's some very, very fine guidelines that they have to follow there. And he has a secretary to help him with all the paperwork and mandatory workshops. Here it is. Participation, they have 3 years or 4 years, depending if they get a red shirt and a medical. Basically, you have 2 years of competition. 2.0, 24 semester units by their last year. In the last semester, they can have 6 units. Unlike high school, you have to make the 2.0 pass 4 classes. CCAA, Constitution and Bylaws, again, a lot of different rules for recruiting and red shirts, and you have to apply that, or medical alter your athletic director before your season starts, and it has to be approved by the CCCAA. Their main job, the CCCAA, is the enforcement of the rules and regulations, making sure that all the schools are following the same thing, recruiting, budgeting, everything's the same, an equal playing field for everybody. So it's huge. And then supports that they have, again, high school, junior college, and 4-year, you'll see that they have many different supports for the colleges that they, or the coaches and administrators. They help. They have workshops. They can answer your questions and help you with that process. Learning as a coach or even as an athletic director. For the school, they have tutorial services, DSPS services for students on special ed, residence halls, food services, mentoring, academic scholarships. There's not so many academic scholarships for a junior college, at least in the state of California. Outside the state of California, they offer scholarships, but at junior college, they don't offer scholarships. So I think that's more financial aid workshops. So there's a lot of things. I think he also said that West Hills is 1 or 6 or 8 schools in the state of California that has dorms, and I think there's 86 or 88 junior colleges in the state. So that's a huge advantage, when you have students come stay, especially right out of high school. So a lot of support academically, networking, mentoring, even for the athletic director and coaches. The next person that I interviewed was Keith Sobrato. He is my current athletic